sisters of the SDCOC, the elders are gathered together today at the Mueller home, but we want to bring you an encouraging message. But beforehand, we want to practice some social distancing, and but we have to also remember that social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. The Bible tells us in 2 Timothy chapter 1 that we have a spirit of power and of self-discipline, and not a spirit of timidity. Mike is here. He is an infectious disease expert. He's going to share a little bit. I've asked Greg to share a little bit about just staying close to the Lord. But together with the rest of the staff, we are going to bring an incredible amount of technology and video and connectivity with one another. It's a time to be a light in a very dark place. Let's be positive, let's be encouraging, and let's be faithful along the way. Let's go ahead and go to Mike.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I want to let you know what we're doing as a church, and the eldership and the leadership of the church has established a coronavirus task force, and this task force meets weekly to get the best recommendations for us to be able to tell you the best things that are going to be able to do during this outbreak. And what I want to talk about now is the virus itself. The coronavirus is a novel virus. It's never been seen before. And as such, nobody has immunity to it. If you catch the coronavirus, what happens is it'll last 1 to 14 days before you show signs. And if you cough or if you sneeze, it is transferred by droplets, which travel about 3 to 6 feet. If you get the disease, if you get the coronavirus, over 70 to 80% of you will probably feel an upper respiratory infection and a fever. But in about 16% of us, it can be much more serious according to CDC research. So what we want to do is we want to let you know what to practice in order to stay free from the virus. And that is great hand washing. It's social isolation. It's to be able to stay out of large gatherings. It's to keep surfaces clean around you and be mindful when you walk into a business, when you walk out of a business, wash or clean your hands or sanitize your hands. This is a very important thing to be able to do, because what we want to do is we want to be able to protect the more vulnerable around us. And those are the elderly, those are the immunocompromised, and those with chronic illnesses. And these illnesses are like heart disease, they're like lung disease. And these people are particularly affected. And what we can do as a community, what we can do as a church, what we can do is, if we follow these guidelines and the guidelines of the CDC, we can what's called flatten the curve. And that is, we can keep our healthcare facilities free from people who are ill, and we don't overwhelm our healthcare systems. And now we're going to respond as we've always done, with faith, not fear. And with that, here's Greg Mueller.
Listen to Mike, smart guy. So I did want to remind us, the elders, we want to remind you of a couple of truths that you can base your life on. That we want you to remember, number one, that Jesus is Lord and that God is in control. I want you to remember, number two, that you're not in a spot, in a corner that's too dark for God to reach into. He cares for you, and He is taking care of you. You can rely on those truths. The church is uniquely able to deal with troubles because of those truths. And we want you to remember that. That means that, number one, that we want you to stay close to God. James chapter 4 reminds us, he says, draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. Please stay in prayer. Please study your Bible. Please encourage each other with those words, as the Apostle Paul says. We want you to stay connected. Please use all the different means that are available. If we can't meet together, we need to be in touch via FaceTime or through the phone, through email, through text. We know that there are people in our congregation who are the most vulnerable, and we want you to remember. We want you to remember them. I want you to remember those in our communities who are really vulnerable too. Please care for them. We know that God is, because He is God, He will honor Himself through this troubling time. We want you to know too that the elders, the staff of the San Diego Church really love you. We want you to know that we're available for a conversation. We want you to know that we're available to try to meet your needs. We love you very much. Thank you.